Recently, I started selling digital templates, design templates, things like Instagram templates, Pinterest templates, things like that. And one of the templates I created were Reels covers. And it ended up that out of everything I had created and was selling, the Reels covers were really taking off. And I realized that this is something that people are really interested in. So considering how popular they are, I thought it'd be worth having a bit of a chat about the importance of Reels covers, because you've probably heard some people saying, oh, your reel will go better if you don't put a cover on it. So I thought we'd have a bit of a chat about Reels covers and the benefits of using them. I'm Tabitha and I'm a brand design educator, and today we're going to have a bit of a chat about the importance and benefits of Reels covers. So you may have heard that debate, people saying, oh no, you shouldn't put covers on your Reels because that will decrease the reach, things like that. But recently I heard an Instagram expert mention the fact that why would Instagram create a feature if it's going to reduce your reach? Why would they even give you the ability to put a cover on something if they didn't want you to actually do that? And that's such a good point. Why would they give you the option to put a cover if they didn't want you to do that? Now, this rumor probably comes up by, some people may have experimented and they may have got a bit more reach on something that they didn't put a cover on, but it was probably just other reasons, and it probably wasn't really that cover that was bringing it down. Covers aren't going to decrease your reach, because when you think about it, when someone's just looking through Reels in the Reels feed and just coming across you randomly, your cover doesn't pop up and take up their time and get in the way at all. They don't see the cover at all. And so it's not interfering with that experience. So if they're not going to see it in that Reels feed when people are just stumbling across you, what is actually the benefit of having the covers then? Well, people are going to see these covers when they're either on your Instagram profile and looking at your main feed and they'll see that real cover cropped in your feed, or if they're going to your Reels feed and they see all your Reels there and they'll see all the covers as well. Or if they search a hashtag and they look at all the Reels under a hashtag, they will see your cover. So that's the times they're going to be seeing those covers. So that's when we have to think about, well, the person who's looking at those things, what are they looking for and why is that cover going to help with what they're doing? So the person that is looking at these things, either looking at your feed or looking at a hashtag, is trying to look for certain things in particular. So they obviously either like your work or they like a particular topic under a hashtag, and they're looking through seeing what's going to catch their eye and get their attention and is what they are looking for. So a reel cover is really about letting people know what this reel is about and making it click worthy, and also making sure that the cover is designed in a way that no matter where they see it, they're going to be able to see all the text and it's going to look nice. So whether it's cropped down in your main profile feed, or if they see it full in the actual Reels feed, it's going to look good. Or if they're scrolling through the whole Instagram feed, if they follow you and it comes up, it's going to look good. So the idea is we want to make sure that that cover looks good no matter how it's cropped. That's really important, because then people are going to see exactly what it says, it's going to look attractive, and then they're going to know that's something that appeals to them, they want to click on it and look at it. Or whether it's something they're not really that interested in and they'll keep looking through to try and find something else. So when you create your reel covers, what you need to be considering is making sure that it suits your brand identity. So you want to make sure that it suits everything else in your feed and looks cohesive and all makes sense with everything else you've got, and also has that clear brand identity, so if someone sees it within the hashtag feed, that it's going to stand out, it's going to look a little bit different because it's your unique brand identity. And also, as they get to know your brand and as you're showing up more and more, then they'll recognize and be like, oh yeah, I recognize that brand. And if they love your stuff, they'll be like, oh, look at that one, that's one of theirs, and they'll want to click through and look at it. So it's building up your brand identity and making you recognizable and memorable. And it's also helping make sure that your feeds are always consistent and cohesive, and it's just building up that brand identity and making it stronger and stronger. And most importantly of all, you want to make sure that your reel cover is click worthy, that it's going to spark people's curiosity and they're going to go, oh, that's something I'm interested in, and I want to click on it. So if you think about it in terms of your actual Reels feed, if someone's going, oh, I really like this brand, I'm really interested in what they've got, they go to your Reels feed to see what your Reels are. If you've made it really clear with your covers what's actually within that reel, then they'll be able to find the things they're interested in. So maybe not every single topic and everything you talk about they're super interested in. Maybe they're really looking for some information on something in particular you talk about. They'll be able to scroll through and look for the things that appeal to them and is going to help them. And so they're not having to watch every single reel you've ever created hoping to find what they want. They're going to easily be able to find the content they want. You've made it super easy for them. And so they're going to love your brand even more because you've made it really easy for them to find the things that they're looking for. Which means you don't just want to be putting up a plain photo. If you just put a photo as your cover and you had no explanation about what's in the reel, then people aren't going to know what's there and whether it's something that's going to be interesting to them or not. If you put a, nice design and make sure that your title is something that, is very clear what it's about, but it also sparks a little curiosity and makes them go, oh, I want to know about that, then they're going to want to click on that and check it out. So make sure that you really hook them in. Think about what might they be interested in, what are they looking for? Things like 5 ways to do this or how to do that, all those sort of hook type titles that is going to draw someone in and make it clear to them what they're going to get out of it. When it comes to reel covers, you've got to start to think about your reels as being more than just that 24-hour piece of content. You should think about your reel covers in a more evergreen sense. So think about someone who comes across your page, they really love your brand, they want to start looking through your content. When they go to your reels feed or your main feed, just looking through all your content, then you're going to be thinking, well, this person might be scrolling right down and they'll see something quite old. So I don't just want to, create something that I just think, well, it's just going to catch people's attention for just a short amount of time and then it dies off. How can I make a cover that's going to, also help catch attention weeks down the track? Because when it comes to reels, people have been finding that sometimes they'll pick up views weeks later. And I think that's often because either it just suddenly takes off weeks later, people come across it, or also people come across your account and they're looking through, finding things that they're interested in, and those covers are going to really help them find what they want, and it's going to help pick up views later on. What are the benefits of using these covers? Well, it's going to help build your brand identity and make you look more consistent and cohesive. It's going to make your content a lot easier to consume so people can go to your Reels feed and find what they're looking for. It's also going to set you apart in the hashtag feed, so if someone goes to a certain hashtag, looks at all the reels under that hashtag, yours is going to stand out if you've got a really good quality cover. And so someone's going to be much more likely to click on your reel compared to others, and it's going to really make you stand out. Plus, it keeps your reels looking really nice amongst the rest of your feed. So if you're trying to create a really aesthetic, nice looking feed on your Instagram, making sure that you have nice covers that go along with that is just going to help complete your feed so that your reels don't stand out as, the odd one out and don't look odd, but it's going to, make it all consistent and all flow really nicely. Now, I know a lot of people say that, aesthetics don't matter as much on Instagram and all that sort of thing. But if you're an aesthetic brand, if you're selling something aesthetic, if you're a designer or a creator, photographer, interior designer, whatever, if you're doing anything creative where your brand is focused on providing people an aesthetic product or service, then you probably do want to have an aesthetic feed because you're trying to attract people by your aesthetics. And so if that's the kind of brand that you have, then reel covers really are going to help you. Now, one of the things that might be putting you off is the fact that it's going to take time. It takes time to create a reel, to edit it and all those things. And you think, well, a cover that's going to just create another barrier that's going to put me off actually making these because it's going to take me extra time. I'm going to have to get on the computer, put the layout together, images, all that stuff, download it, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to take all this extra time. And I just want to be able to create the content. And if I've got to make that cover as well, then I'm going to end up not doing as much and it's going to put me off and all those things. And so you might feel like it's a stumbling block that's holding you back. Well, that's why I think that having Reels cover templates is going to be super handy, because what you can do is batch create. You can batch create your Reels and then batch create the covers. So if you have a heap of templates, whether you design those templates yourself or you buy some templates, you can just batch create the Reels, batch create the covers, download everything together, have it all ready to go, and then you've got like a week or maybe 2 weeks, however much you can do at once, worth of content, and you only had to do it in one hit. You're not constantly have to go, right, I make a reel, make a cover, make another reel, make a cover, and just, not letting it take up so much time, but instead batch it. So if you're going to be doing covers and you're going to want to make your reels that extra special and reap those benefits of using covers, then I really recommend doing it in a batch way and using a template. So as I mentioned before, yes, I do have some reel cover templates. It was the thing that really took off the fastest in my digital shop. And so I've created 2 other variations, so 2 different styles. I've got a dark mode one. So if you've got an Instagram feed where you're using all dark tones like blacks or grays and you've got more dark tone, I've got reel covers for them. Then I've got the original one that I created created, and also a vintage film style one that I've created too. So there's a few different styles there, so you can pick what's going to suit you. The original one, you know, you can really adapt to your own brand, and then the dark mode one's perfect for if you have a dark Instagram feed, and then the vintage film one's more if you have a, you know, a photo or film type aesthetic and you really like that style. It's just a bit of a different one for people who love that sort of thing. Obviously you can create your own. If you want to create a set of templates that you can use over and over again to batch it yourself, that's great. Go ahead and do that because it's going to help you so much. But if that's not something that you have the time for or the ability, and you just want a bit of a helping hand and have some that are ready to go, and also create it in a way that it looks good no matter how it's cropped, as I said before, because you want it to look good when it's cropped on your feed as well as in the main Reels feed. So if you want something that's already pre-designed like that, so you're not having to take the time to create all that, be able to check all those out in my digital shop. You can find the link in the description below. So I hope you found today's video helpful and it got you thinking a bit more about the benefits of using covers for your Reels, so that you'll take the time to work on them more and really create beautiful covers that build up your brand and also make your content easier to consume. Now, if you want to learn more about branding, graphic design and creativity, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time.